Hey folks, it's the Brown Noser with the final part of our vacation in the Laurentians. We left Bay Eternité and went back upstream to Chicoutimi before crossing the Saguenay River and driving along the north shore, where we stopped in Baie Sainte-Marguerite for a hike to a point that is famous for whale spotting. We saw so many belugas and manky whales frolicking in the mouth of the bay. They must have been at least half a kilometer away, so I'm sorry for the shaky video. I didn't have my tripod. We could have watched them all day. We continued on to Tadoussac, where the Saguenay meets the St. Lawrence River. I cannot tell you how thrilled I was that we would be spending 2 nights in a hotel, the first on this vacation. We stayed at the famous Hotel Tadoussac, which looked out onto a bay of the same name. The next day, we hit the beach and got our kayaks in the water. It was cold in the bay, with the temperature about 4 or 5 degrees Celsius, so our wetsuits were a must. We put in as the tide was coming out, figuring it would be easier to get back to the shore when the tide was on its way in. We wanted to paddle into the mouth of the Saguenay and perhaps go as far as Anse-à-la-Barre, which would have us going past where the ferries cross between Tadoussac and Baie Sainte-Catherine. But a strong wind kicked up just after we rounded the point, and we had to take shelter in a small cove near the Marine Mammal Interpretation Center. It was here that we decided that we weren't going to risk going further up the Saguenay River.
I don't think we're going to cross the path of the ferries with this kind of wind. There's 2 ferries, don't want to get in their way.
We turned back toward Baie Tadoussac, riding waves that were created from the wind, the current of the 2 rivers, and likely the changing tide. Once back in the bay, the wind and water were much calmer.
Well, I wanted to get to the point, and I'm at the point. Nothing but the St. Lawrence. We got Baie Sainte-Catherine on the opposite side, and then back toward the hotel. This is very nice and gentle right at the point. Oh, rolling with the waves. This is nice.
We could see that the St. Lawrence outside the bay was rough, so this was the extent of today's paddle.
So we are at the Microbrasserie Tadoussac. We're gonna do a sampler and split a pizza, and then we're gonna explore some of the town. But it's really a lovely little town.
Okay,
Fast with the beer.
this is the less the highest percentage, and there's the little paper to make you remember which beer it's which one.
Yeah.
It's just the 17 that it's left here, and it's the dry south sour.
Okay. Merci.
Merci.
That's pretty interesting. I don't know if I've ever had a sour stout.
No, I've never had a sour stout. This is a dry sour stout. I almost pick up like a cola flavor from the nose. That's sharp.
It's pretty good.
It's not bad.
Everything is fine for you?
Everything is good.
Yeah, and there's serviette. Yeah, we have.
Yes. Would you like ketchup, mayonnaise?
So we're having the krill, which is a gosa. It's very pretty. You'll like this.
I do actually like that one.
So next we're going to try the Nictal, which is the cream ale. Not getting much off the nose. It's not giving much away. Bit of a light nutty malt.
Yeah. It's quite nice.
It's almost a palate cleanser to the two sours we've had.
Okay. So the last one is your fond de cale.
So the fond de cale dry stout. This is the one I've been really looking forward to trying. You got coffee right off the top.
Okay.
A lot of coffee. There's a lot of coffee off this. That's nice. It's very nice. Very dry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a connoisseur of stouts, but it tastes good.
Not quite as good as the stout that I picked up in Jacques-Cartier Park, but highly quaffable.
After lunch, we wandered to Islet Point to see the view of the two rivers from land. People gather here to watch whales come in and out of the bay, and we weren't disappointed, though they were much harder to spot and get on camera here. DW and I must have been paddling amongst them earlier as we saw lots of people watching, but it was nearly impossible to see them from the surface of the water. But I'm gonna say that we definitely kayaked with whales nearby. On our last morning, we went for a hike to the Tadoussac Dunes Lookout and then returned to the Islet Point for more whale watching. The water was calmer, and we wished we had time to take one last paddle, but we had to check out of the hotel and start making our way home. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, a thumbs up would be greatly appreciated. Subscribe so that you don't miss my next video. From Tadoussac and the Saguenay, this is the Brown Noser. We'll see you next time.